Well, this could be a great day. SickKids celebrating a very special milestone today. It was on April 3rd, 1875. SickKids cared for its first ever patient. It was Maggie, a 3-year-old girl with a badly scalded arm. Well, now, 150 years later, SickKids is a world-renowned hospital for excellence in pediatric healthcare. And Jee-Yun is live at the hospital this morning. Gee, remarkable 150 years of doing what SickKids does.
Yeah, happy birthday to SickKids Hospital. And we are going to hear more and more of those stories. As you mentioned, the very first patient back in 1875, 3-year-old Maggie. Today is a day of celebration and remembering some of those incredible milestones of giving back and really saving lives. Before we get to our special guest, we have a very special birthday message from a well-known Canadian actor. As you know, he is a champion for SickKids Hospital. This is a very special message from Ryan Reynolds.
Happy birthday, SickKids. 150 years old. Seems like just a century ago there was no penicillin. Oh, but now here we are. Century later, doing great. These are some of the best people I've ever met in my entire life that work at this foundation and this hospital, and I'm so grateful for everything that you guys do for so many kids and so many families from coast to coast to coast. Lots of love.
And our viewers, CP24 viewers, are seeing that birthday message for the first time. Thank you to Ryan Reynolds for that lovely message. Now I'd like to bring in a very special guest. This is Natalie, who is a child life specialist here at the hospital. Good morning.
Good morning.
I love the fact that you are working here at the hospital, but you actually have a very personal story connected to the hospital. You came here when you were 11 years old. Tell me a little bit more of your journey.
I did, yeah. I was having some cold symptoms, and so we had some blood work done, and my doctor at my hometown told me to come straight to SickKids because something was off, and it was there in the emergency department downstairs that I was diagnosed with leukemia at the same time that my mom was battling breast cancer. So it was a lot of stress for my family, but SickKids was there every step of the way to support us. And I went through 3 years of chemotherapy and radiation, and that's really inspired me to where I am today.
Oh my goodness, so you're giving back to the hospital. You roamed these hallways for 3 years while you were getting treatment. What do you remember the most at that time?
You know, you think you would remember the medications and the painful parts,
right,
but I remember the staff who were always there to support,
yes,
the people that were there to make me laugh, the breaks that my mom would take just here at these benches in the evening when I was learning to walk again. And so it's really these joyful moments that I have to take away thanks to the wonderful support that I received.
And now you give back to the patients here at the hospital as a child life specialist.
I
do. What is that like? That must be so rewarding for you.
Yeah, in child life, we help to minimize their anxiety and stress when they're here for both patients and siblings, to help them build resilience over their experiences so they can go on to be successful, healthy young people and adults. And we do that through age-appropriate education and teaching about what's happening, helping them develop coping strategies, and making sure they have fun and opportunities to play. And so that is rewarding every day that I'm here to be able to make that small positive difference in families' lives.
And how are you doing personally and physically right now?
I am well. I'm healthy. I've been in remission since SickKids got me there, and so I'm very thankful to be where I am today, thanks to the treatments and wonderful support I received.
Woo! Okay, so that's what this is all about, hearing these amazing stories, literally saving lives, and you're part of the celebration today.
I am.
Thank you for sharing your story and for what you do here at the hospital.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you. We're going to hear more and more stories like that here at the hospital today, and you may notice a bunch of these balloons in celebration of the 150th birthday. That's right, 150 of these balloons, 40 of them here at the hospital, scattered throughout, and the rest will be scattered throughout the city and possibly the world. So a big celebration here at SickKids Hospital. We'll have more coming up this morning. Hard to believe, 150 years old today. And I've always said we're very lucky to have this hospital here, not only in Toronto, but in Canada, really saving lives. And as you know, there's a very special celebrity that has been a real champion for SickKids Hospital, and that is Ryan Reynolds. You've seen him in many of the amazing campaign videos for SickKids Hospital. And now here is a wonderful birthday message from Ryan Reynolds.
Happy birthday, SickKids. 150 years old. Seems like just a century ago there was no penicillin. Oh, we were but now here we are, a century later, doing great. These are some of the best people I've ever met in my entire life that work at this foundation and this hospital, and I'm so grateful for everything that you guys do for so many kids and so many families from coast to coast to coast. Lots of love.
And thank you to Ryan Reynolds for that. CP24 viewers seeing it for the first time. And now I'm going to bring in a very special guest. This is Dr. Ronald Cohn. He is the president and CEO of SickKids Hospital.
Good morning. Thank you.
I should say happy birthday to SickKids.
Thank you. It's happy birthday to all of us today.
Yes, and I love this tunnel because we're looking at a history of SickKids Hospital with this beautiful display here.
And it's the connection between our administrative building and the hospital. So we have one campus, and here you can see actually the very humble beginnings, 6 iron carts, Elizabeth McMaster, and a few strong women who believe this city needs a hospital for sick children, regardless of whether they can pay for it or not. And our first patient, Maggie, was a 3-year-old girl with a scalded arm. And that first year, we admitted 43 patients, and now we see 130,000 patients a year.
Oh, incredible. Let's do a little walk through this tunnel here. And I love that you can kind of get an idea of some of the milestones in the history of the hospital.
I mean, you see that our entire hospital in success is built on so many legends that have really helped us to provide excellent care and be the #1 publicly funded children's hospital in the world, and we are cherishing the past as much as we are cherishing the present and the future, obviously.
Yeah, and we're meeting various people where this hospital means a lot. We just met Natalie. She's a child life specialist here at the hospital, but also a patient.
Who has her own history of being a patient. Thank God she survived all of her challenges, and now she is one of our valuable contributors to our care here, which is amazing, right? We all come from different angles to this hospital, but what unites us is the incredible dedication towards the mission of our hospital to provide excellent care for children and their families.
Yes.
That's what's uniting us all, and that's really what attracted me to come here 13 years ago.
Yeah, what is it like being the president and CEO of this incredible hospital? I always say we're very lucky to have this in Toronto, but not only in Toronto, in Canada.
I tell you, it's a privilege for me to have the best job in the world, and it's also a humbling experience because with all the successes we have an incredible responsibility because we are striving towards excellence of care. Our patient and family expect it from us. We expect it from us. So today is a day of pride, looking back at the wonderful history and looking forward to what's to come.
Yeah. And it's a day of celebration, a huge milestone, 150 years. Dr. Cohn, thank you to you and the staff for all that you do.
Thank you for celebrating with us.
Yes, a message for your patients really quickly.
Thank you all for the trust you give us every single day when we try to provide you with the best possible support for you and your families. Thank you.
There you go. Happy birthday to SickKids Hospital. Talk about a milestone, 150 years old today. The very first patient for SickKids Hospital treated in 1875, 3-year-old Maggie. She came into the hospital with a scalding arm, and that's where it all began. And so today is a day of celebration. And you know who sent a very special birthday message to the hospital? None other than Ryan Reynolds. Take a look.
Happy birthday, SickKids. 150 years old. Seems like just a century ago there was no penicillin. Oh, we were but now here we are, a century later, doing great. These are some of the best people I've ever met in my entire life that work at this foundation and this hospital, and I'm so grateful for everything that you guys do for so many kids and so many families from coast to coast to coast. Lots of love.
Gotta love Ryan Reynolds. He has been a champion of this hospital. And you know who else has been a champion? Dr. Ronald Cohn. He is the president and CEO. Nice to have somebody high profile like Ryan Reynolds being such a champion for the hospital.
Oh, we are so grateful that he has been a strong supporter each and every year, because it generates so much excitement around the community for our kids, for our patients, for our families, our staff, and obviously outside. He has been tremendous.
He has been tremendous. I love the campaign that involves him and all the warriors, the kids here. You're going to have a big celebration a little later this morning. The stage is all set up. What can people expect?
So I need to share all the surprises now with you. That's okay. So we have some flash mob singing. We have a patient ambassador parade. We have some speeches too, but most importantly, we have our kids. One of our kids is going to speak. One of our former patients, who is now actually a staff member at SickKids, is going to speak. And then we have the family descendants of Elizabeth McMasters here, which is just fantastic.
It's going to be a day of celebration and just looking back an incredible history of 150 years. Dr. Cohn, thank you so much.
Thank you for being here and celebrating with us.
Thank you. Now let's talk to some very special patients here at the hospital. Come on over. This is Hannah, and come on over. And it's Gianna. Nice to meet you. How old are you?
I'm 10 years old. 5.
5. Okay. And can I ask why you are a patient here? What's the condition?
When I was 2 years old, I got diagnosed with severe asthma.
Wow. And what about you, Gianna? Asthma is what I understand, right? Okay. So what have you learned coming here to the hospital now that you know you have asthma? What do you do to make sure that you don't have an attack?
So I usually get an asthma attack when I run a lot. So I play some sports, which are in running. So I take my puffer before that to make sure that I don't get an asthma attack.
Nice. And what do you do, Gianna? Do you do any sports or any activities as well?
I just do dance.
Wow. Okay. So we're gonna step aside. Let you show us a dance move. I'll bring Caleb out of the way for a second. Can you show us a dance move? Go ahead. Yeah. Woo! Thank you so much. And now I'm going to bring in Caleb, who is 5 years old as well. Come on over. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good. So you're a patient here as well. Can I ask what happened with you here?
I had a liver transplant.
You had a liver transplant when you were a little baby.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of it? No. But you like coming to the hospital and visiting all your friends here?
Yeah.
So I understand you're going to be on the stage with Dr. Cohn later this morning.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're going to say to everybody? What are you going to say?
Hi, everybody. My name is Caleb, and I'm 5 years old. When I was a baby, I was very sick.
The mom's saying, don't say the whole speech. You know what we can say? Come on over. We're going to look at everybody at our audience here, CP24, and let's say happy birthday, SickKids. Come on over, closer. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday, SickKids!
Incredible history of saving lives, and that's what this is all about. Celebrating 150 years. Hard to believe it was on this day in 1875 that the hospital treated its very first patient. And as you know, there have been so many incredible supporters all throughout the years, including one very special champion for SickKids Hospital. Here's a very special message that you are only seeing here on CP24 from Ryan Reynolds.
Happy birthday, SickKids. 150 years old. Seems like just a century ago there was no penicillin. Oh, but now here we are, a century later, doing great. These are some of the best people I've ever met in my entire life that work at this foundation and this hospital. And I'm so grateful for everything that you guys do for so many kids and so many families from coast to coast to coast. Lots of love.
Thank you so much to Ryan Reynolds for sending that incredible birthday message to all the staff and all the patients who have just been real champions for this hospital. They're getting ready for a big celebration. The cupcakes are out. My guess is 150 cupcakes right there. Happy birthday to SickKids. And we're going to speak to some very special guests now. This is 5-year-old Caleb and his sister Zoe. Caleb came here when he was very young. Do you remember when you came here? You were a little baby, right?
Yeah.
And why did you have to come to the hospital?
Because my liver was very sick.
And so you had a liver transplant. And how are you feeling today?
Good.
Good. And you're actually going to take the stage for this very special celebration. Can you give us a little of what you're going to say to the audience today?
Happy 150th birthday, Sick Kids. Thanks for inviting us to your party. We love you, Sick Kids.
Aw, so sweet. Caleb and his sister Zoe here. It must be so nice to see your brother strong and healthy. You obviously have been an amazing big sister. What has this journey been like so far?
We've been to the hospital lots of times, and we sometimes take him to blood work.
Okay. What was that like for you as a big sister watching your younger brother go through this?
I like coming to the hospital with him every day.
Showing your love and support.
Yeah.
That's because that's what big sisters do, right? I'm the older sister too in my family. I get it. You're a good sister, Zoe. Thank you so much. And then we have Hannah and Gianna. Both were treated here with severe asthma. Yeah. So do you remember the first time you came here, Hannah?
I'm pretty sure I was like 2.
Okay. And how are you doing right now?
I'm doing actually very good.
Yeah? I know you do a lot of sports and you like to dance. How do you cope with dealing, making sure you don't have an asthmatic attack?
I take the puffers before, and that helps me to not lose my breath.
Okay. And how are you doing, Gianna? Good. Okay. You have asthma as well. So what are you doing to make sure you stay strong and healthy? You take your puffers?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what else do you do? Do you make sure you talk to your sister a lot?
Yeah.
And what sports and activities do you like to do?
I just do dance and gymnastics.
Wow, so you're very active, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, so this is a day of celebration. I'm gonna let you guys get cupcakes early. Woohoo, don't tell anybody here. But in the meantime, since it is a day of celebration, why don't we dance it out? And so we'll play the music and we're gonna say happy birthday, Sick Kids. Can we say it? 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday, Sick Kids!
Okay, let's dance it out. You hear the music? Let's go. Happy birthday, Sick Kids.